what we are doing today is we are going to be putting in the shed the Rhino PT419H that we got from Rhino, as well as the 4155 Rhino rotary cutter that we got. Now this is part of the Rhino deal that I discussed with you guys a little bit. We got one more thing coming. We got both of these today, and I wasn't really expecting them both at one time, but it was a pleasant surprise. So I'm going to take you guys around both of them, talk about them a little bit. I haven't really gotten a close look at them yet. I mean, the last time that I looked at the hay tedder, it was in a box. So we'll just walk around it real quick before we start backing them in the shed and putting them away. I don't really want to leave them out for too long. So hopefully within the next few weeks here, we can start using the rotary cutter. We got quite a few acres of corn that we didn't get to cut last fall because we were waiting on it, but now that it's here, we can do it this spring. So let's have a look, shall we? All right, we're standing back on the back side of the tedder. Now, the first thing that I thought when I saw this thing was, wow, how small the wheels are. But when I thought about it, you know, you really don't want to have that much of a step when you're going across the hay. We have not used a hay tedder at all, at least to my knowledge, in the past. And we're really interested in using one of these. What they're for is to, when you knock down the hay, you're supposed to follow right behind it with the tedder. What the tedder does is it spreads out the hay over a wide area, rather than having your windrows, which will prevent the rows from drying all the way through, which with first crop it can be kind of difficult to get the hay completely dry because it's so thick. Now, it's PTO driven, and I can turn it. Now, the spread on this, the width is 19 feet, which is indicated with the number on the back. I'm not totally sure what the other numbers mean, but it seems like a pretty solid piece of equipment because there's not much play when I lift up and down on the wings. So that's all I really got to say about this for now. I'm really looking forward to using it. So let's go have a look at the cutter. Now we are standing behind the Rhino 4155. Guys, this thing is an absolute beast. I watched one of Rhino's promotional videos where they're using one of these things, and they are taking down pretty good sized trees. When I had gotten a call from them, they're like, we would love to get you out one of these 4155s. They're absolute monsters. And I didn't really take that home until I saw that promotional video where they were using it. I mean, I can't imagine that it was real quiet going over those trees, but it was knocking them down, and they were clearing quite a bit of brush. Now, I'm not totally sure. I talked to some of the Rhino guys about the tires that are on this. I believe these are foam filled. They feel like it. And I'm not sure if these are the tires, but the unit that we were looking down at the National Farm Machinery Show, that one actually had used aircraft tires on it. Like I said, I'm not totally sure if these are the ones or not. I'll probably have to look into that. But they're supposed to be a pretty heavy-duty tire. We got the foam-filled ones, so that way we don't have to worry about running over any, locust trees or anything like that. Not really have to worry about any punctures. They're supposed to be pretty solid. Now, I just remembered while I was actually just looking at this. Now, this is a used, not a used. I said a used tire before. These are overstock aircraft tires. There was a surplus from the company that makes aircraft tires, so they thought, what better way to put them to use, because they're supposed to be pretty tough. Now, they went and put them on this. You don't need a lot of traction. You just need something that's not going to give, and that's why they went with the overstocked aircraft tires. So I just want to get that clear before I put it in the shed saying that they were used. So we are standing under the left wing on the mower, and looking at the blades, they're pretty thick. Now, the reason that these are beveled right here is because as you're moving along, if you run over something that is not going to give, like a rock, you want to have that beveled edge so that the unit itself gives rather than breaks. You don't want to stress anything too much. That's why it has that beveled edge there. And there's actually quite a bit of play in here to give these blades some play if you're moving along and you start hitting the ground or you hit some rocks. That way they can give probably good 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch or so, which while you're cutting that close to the ground, every inch counts. So let's move along to the front. Now it kind of hit home for me how big of a beast this thing was when we went to Grant Equipment and we saw it in person. It's a lot heavier built than I had even imagined. The tongue is absolutely thick. It's a monster. And just looking at how it's angled out, it's meant to be abused. It really is. We got skid plates over here. I'm not sure if that's universal with most mowers. That's to kind of keep it up off the ground, just to kind of provide some leveling. And we got them out on the wings too. So I'm looking forward to using this thing. Like I said, this is probably going to be the first thing we use of the new Rhino stuff, even before the VT this spring. We got to go knock down some of those stocks up at that other farm, since it is no-till ground, and I don't like having standing corn stalks while I'm drilling beans into it. So with that, we can start backing these things into the shed. Now that's pretty well it. We got her tucked away in the shed, and just a few closing thoughts. I really can't wait to start using that cutter. I really cannot. I've been excited since I saw it on the lot when we went and saw it. That thing is a beast, and it'll be nice to use for our pastures this summer too, for keeping the pastures down. Usually we like to go through with that other cutter and cut them down, but it's just too dang slow. So having a 15-foot cutter will be a lot nicer. And it'll be a lot nicer for chopping up corn stalks too, which is what we're going to be dual purposing this thing for. It's not just for cutting down brush and stuff. It's going to be used quite a bit. So that should be about it for this video, guys. Can't wait to start using them. So thanks for watching this video. Be sure to check out all of our other ones. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. All how farms work. And we'll see you next time.